Every time a Sanjay Leela Bhansali movie is announced or released, you cannot ignore and just think about the grand sets, awe-striking cinematography, actors giving their best performances, and some over-the-top melodrama. These are some of the basic signature attributes a SLB movie has in almost all the cases. But there is something else that usually is also very common in a SLB movie. It is the powerful women characters, be it Rani Mukherjee in Black, Manisha Koirala in Khamoshi, Aishwarya and Madhuri in Devdas, or Alia Bhatt in Gangubai. Pick any SLB movie and you will be very likely finding a very powerful female character. What you also get to see as an extension of this powerful woman is Sanjay Leela Bhansali's compulsion for having a courtesan or a tawayaf that he usually refers them to in his movies, be it Alia Bhatt in Gangubai, Rani in Savarya or Madhuri in Devdas. It was always visible that a Sanjay Leela Bhansali world of stories is somewhat incomplete without them. And when Hira Mandi was announced, I was not surprised to see a series that fully revolved around courtesans in a place being referred to as the Diamond Bazaar. The series is set in the pre-independent India in the city of Lahore, depicting the 1940s and majorly revolving around the women of Hira Mandi, known for their beauty and charm, that they used to bowl over the Nawabs and any influential person in Lahore. But you keep getting a closer and ugly glimpse of the internal politics for power, relevance inside the bazaar, mainly driven by Malika Jan, who sits on the throne of Shahi Mahal in Hira Mandi, and how she manages all the politics, a constant lust for the property between the sisters, including Manisha and Sanjida Sheikh. There is also an attempt of power shift that happens internally in Hira Mandi, led by Faradeen, played by Sonakshi Sinha, and then transcending to the freedom struggle mainly driven by Bibbo's character played by Aditi Rao Hadari as they become part of the rebel against the British government. While there is another subplot, a romantic love story between Malika Jan's daughter Alamzeb and the son of a businessman who too chooses to be a rebel against the British government. All these plot points majorly form the core story of this 8 episode series. So, let's start with the things that I liked about this show. I think this has to be the most grandest and beautiful looking content in the web series ecosystem in the recent times. Perhaps there is not a single movie or show of Sanjay Leela Bhansali that does not look good. He is indeed a perfectionist on how he wants his frames to look. And it's not just about how expensive the set is looking or how much money was spent on it, but rather every frame looks like a perfect painting of an artist giving his best with his conviction and rest of the team. So yet again in SLB content, we have a great cinematography, some amazing art design and that very fine camera work. There is also one more thing in which SLB usually marvels at, that is his ability of world building. From the first episode, you are transported almost 100 years back to Lahore, still a part of British occupied India. The world of Hira Mandi, the world of Malika Jan, and how she controls everything around her to stay relevant and powerful, and how she manages to keep her profession respectful by not bowing down to the British government. This world also has those victims of Malika Jan's controlling aspect. There is her sister Wahida, never been able to get what she thinks she deserved. There is her daughter Alamzeb, who too, at a point in time, wants to get liberated from the world of Malika Jan. And then we have a rival in the character of Faridan, Malika Jan's niece, who comes back in their lives to take back what she thinks belongs to her. We also have a small list of men playing their parts in this saga, although they mostly stay irrelevant except for the businessman's son and Alamzeb's love interest, Tazdar, who is mostly stuck between the dilemma of falling in love with a girl of Hiramandi and standing for the cause of the freedom movement against the British government. This entire world is not simple and nor are its characters, but Bhansali, with a lot of patience, introduces you to them and their motivations and their secrets. Despite mostly symbolized by flaws, you do not label them as villains, especially when it comes to Malika Jan's character. And finally, what I also liked was acting from some of the key actors, especially Manisha Koirala as Malika Jan. It's great to see Manisha Koirala as the all powerful, all controlling Queen of Hiramandi. She might not be the most positive character in the show, but she makes you feel what compels her to be the way she is. And Manisha Koirala does a very fine job. I also liked Aditi Rao Hadari in the role of Dibbo Jan and Sonakshi Sinha in the role of Faridan. However, there are some major flaws that the show also has. So, let's cover those aspects as well. One of the major flaws of the show is that it never fully understands if it's a story of Hira Mandi or a story of the freedom struggle. While in the first half, there are mostly characters manipulating each other to get the best of the Diamond Bazaar, slowly towards the second half, the cause for the freedom struggle starts taking the front seat, but does not bring the same impact as plot of the internal conflicts between the characters did initially in the show. Another major flaw is the consistent post-black syndrome I see SLB going through. SLB remains one of the best directors in India over 2 decades. He has been able to keep himself relevant with most of his movies. However, a director that made movies like Khamoshi, Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, Devdas, and Black post these landmark movies has never been able to achieve the same high. Yes, he still made a very good Gangu Bai and 3 fine movies with Ranveer and Deepika, but none of them came close to Black or his previous movies. I personally believe the director has started putting a lot of energy in his visuals and music of the movies, both of which are usually of very high order. But I think this is also impacting his storytelling skills that we used to see in his earlier movies. While I was also not pretty satisfied with some of the casting that the show had. The male characters have a very limited or no impact in the overall show. Still, from an excitement and acting point of view, I wasn't impressed with the casting of Shekhar and Adhyan Suman or even Fardeen Khan. There is hardly anything that they add in the limited roles that they have. Also, Sharmeen Sehgal, who is supposedly the niece of Sanjay Leela Bhansali, does have some charm, but in terms of acting, she lacks the variation that was required for the role of Alamzeb. So, like I mentioned earlier, that Hiramandi continues to be an addition of a great looking story with a very mediocre storytelling that loses itself somewhere between the Diamond Bazaar and the freedom struggle, and in the attempt stretches itself far too long. You could watch this show with less expectations and some patience. So, this was the review for Hira Mandi. Please press the like button if you really like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such content.